these AI, they won't really have a morality. They'll have a facsimile of some kind, and it'll be based on a simple human input, such as, hey, we want good financial advice. We were talking about this last night. Someone might say to ChatGPT or any one of these large language models, create for me a financial plan for making money or seeing my stock value, my portfolio increase. If these AIs get unleashed into like the commercial world, let's say someone actually takes this model, creates a plugin and says, hey, large financial institution, use this AI. It'll help predict market trends faster than anything else, and you will make tons of money.
Right.
If this AI gets access to buying and selling on their behalf, the AI will say, it's not going to say anything. Here's what's going to do. It's going to be like, if we want to make money for our clients, what they asked for was predict what will go up. It will then say, I noticed that when I sell this stock, another stock reacts this way. It'll start short selling and destroying other companies.
Yeah.
And then within 20 years, you will have a stock worth $1 trillion and it'll be the only company left on the planet and it'll be a corn manufacturer. It will do things you cannot predict. It'll say, yes, I can increase the value of your stock, but not be careful what you wish for. It's basically the monkey's paw. You'll say, I wish my portfolio was better. And it'll say, okay, and it'll do it by destroying a bunch of other companies.
Right.
Let's say you invest in an auto manufacturer and you're like, I want to see my stock in, auto company go up, Tesla, whatever. It'll go, okay. And then it'll start short selling and destroying the value of other companies so that the only car company left is Tesla. And then your stock, of course, will be worth more.
Or like make the materials that it costs to build roads go down so that car values go up.
Or
why is bitumen all of a sudden cheap?
Palladium or other metals will become worth $1 million an ounce because that will make your car stock go up or down or something like that.
So basically you're talking about a digital form of Jim Cramer.
Well, Jim Cramer is just the inverse of he's wrong about everything.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, dude, I'm saying,
but for other people's stock, right?
People think when you go to the AI, and this can get us into the Google stuff. People think when you go to the AI and say something as simple, it really is the genie. It is the djinn. It is the monkey's paw. You say, I wish I was rich. And then the finger in the monkey's paw curls down, your phone rings, and you go, hello? And they're like, I have terrible news. Your father died. They're saying you're getting all of his stuff in his house. And you're just like, no, like you wanted money, but you had to get it some way. And this is what the AI is going to do. It's going to be careful what you wish for. So the example I like to give, and you might have experience with this, you can probably enlighten us. I was talking with people at Google and YouTube a long time ago about what their plans were. I had someone, a friend of mine who I've known for a long time who works for YouTube say, and this is 10 years ago, our biggest competitor is Netflix. And I said, you're wrong. That is not the way you should be approaching this. But it was technically the truth, but it was a mistake in my opinion. What they noticed was that they were losing viewers to Netflix. Sure, but those were never really your core user anyway. So what happens is YouTube starts. People are looking for instant VOD, video on demand content.
Yeah.
They go on YouTube. They get it. Netflix now starts doing digital streaming and people are like, I can watch movies online. That's so much easier. YouTube then said, no, we're losing our users to this. But YouTube, you never had movies.
Right.
So YouTube says we need long form content on the platform. What do? They invest in things like Vice documentaries. What ends up happening is they say, we want to compete with Netflix. So we want our algorithm to promote content that is longer and gets more watch time. We don't want 2-minute viral clips. We want 10-minute episodes. We want half-an-hour episodes. They thought they were going to get Game of Thrones. What they got instead was, for one, podcasts. Okay, that's actually fairly okay, because it's long content and people listen to it for a very long time. And it's low-cost production. So All of a sudden, you saw this explosion of talk radio-style YouTube content because it was successful. What they didn't expect was 40-minute Elsagate videos, where Spider-Man and the Joker are running around giving injections to a pregnant Elsa.
Yeah.
Videos where grotesque things are happening.
Glad you brought that up.
Because the people trying to exploit the algorithm to get views did not care what YouTube wanted. YouTube said, if we make it so the videos must be long and must be watched for a long time, we're going to get high production quality. And what really happened was people said, I ain't spending $1 million for a 10-minute video. So they would make the cheapest garbage they could.
Right.
And you started getting weird videos that made no sense just so the algorithm would promote them. and that made people very rich. And now it's probably caused psychological damage to babies. I'm not exaggerating. The parents would put the iPad in front of the kids, the autoplay would turn on, and they'd see a pregnant Elsa being injected by the Joker as Spider-Man runs in circles for 40 minutes. The babies couldn't change the channel. So YouTube said this account watches these videos watches to completion these videos, and it's hitting all the Disney keywords. And so it was just mass spamming this. The people
it's almost like MK Ultra light. Like I was at YouTube when the Elsa Gate thing happened, and I was like, what's this thing that's this kerfuffle? And I go and I look at these Elsa Gate videos. I was just like, oh my God. Like this is it was literally insane stuff that they were feeding kids. And it was like the up next algorithm kept on, like, once you're on the chain, it kept on feeding your kids just the most sickest cartoons you could like low budget too.
Cartoons of kids eating feces.
Yeah.
And drinking from toilets.
Injecting drugs and then getting superpowers.
Yeah.
You know, and womanizing, women, like,
This is what Google made a wish to the AI genie, and the AI genie delivered.
Yeah, but why here's the thing. Why didn't Disney sue? Like, Disney's all about the licensing, right? Like, here's someone clearly violating their license, and they're like, oh.
I think Section 230, they'd have to go after the individuals who did it, and there were thousands doing it. Also, I don't think they wanted to draw attention to the fact that Elsa was doing these things.
I mean, can't they just file like a DMCA complaint
against the 50,000 videos?
The video, right? Like, you search for it.
But they would, but it's 50,000 videos. It's 100,000 videos. It's impossible. This is the crazy thing. Google CEO goes before the AI genie and says, I wish that we had successful long-form content on YouTube. And it goes, your wish is granted.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you've got pregnant Elsa vomiting on the floor and the Joker injecting her with a giant syringe. It's like, no, this is not what I wanted, but you wished for it.
Yeah.
Were those, what were you saying?
Go ahead.
Were those videos created by machines? Those Elsagate videos?
Not all of them, but a lot of them were.
Yeah.
So there was a mix. Some people, I think, what's his face? Who's the FUPA guy? H3. He did a couple of these, and people were acting like it was a gag. No, YouTubers don't care about what their content is. The original YouTubers were like, I just want 1 million views. And so a lot of people, when they saw Elsa videos getting 1 million hits, were like, I'm going to make one of these because we're going to make 30 grand off of this for $10. So they start, this is the creepy world of AI. Now, this is the easiest way to explain how AI will destroy the world, but I have to explain it like we're going to get some government agency being like, we want to end world hunger. Oh, AI, we beseech thee, help us end world hunger. 10 years later, everyone's driving in cars made of corn. They're wearing shirts made of corn. They have corn hats. There's no food being produced anywhere but corn, and everyone's slowly dying of malnourishment, but they're full and fat.
And the only source of protein is Soylent Green. It's made of people.
It'll be corn protein.
Right.
Like, because the AI doesn't care. So it will just figure it out what maximizes.
We talk about AI, and like I want to specify what it is exactly, because you talk about large language models, and then there's general intelligence, and those are different.
Right.
They both considered AI.
Yeah. So like AI is this like super group of like all the different types of AIs, chess playing AIs, large language models, machine learning.
What was the first one called? Chess playing
AIs. That's specialized AIs, right? Which are more like algorithms, but we classify them as AI. So that's like, then there's like subgroups like machine learning, and then like the large language models is like a subset of that machine learning. So
what is it about large language models that's specific that redefines it from other machine learning?
So that text completion that you have like on iPhone and all that stuff. Well, they basically just scaled that up to a hyper intelligent being.
Oh, where it can give you like a bunch of different results of text completion at once?
Yeah, that's literally what it is. They literally took that AI they developed for figuring out autocomplete for the next thing you're going to type on a text, and they just kept on scaling it up, and it just kept on getting better, and now that's what it is.
So realistically, would it be safe to say it's not really intelligent? I heard Sam Altman on Lex Fridman's show saying that general intelligence is really or other people were saying when it becomes intelligent, that's general intelligence. It's not true intelligence yet.
It's showing sparks of general intelligence. And the thing is that like, people want to do this like reduction ad absurdum. Like they want to like say, well, it's actually just like tensor flowing through a silicone. And I mean, like our head is just chemical signals traveling through neurons. So if you apply the same reduction to our own brain, like are we actually intelligent, right? And so I think it's this whole thing about like, is it actually intelligent or not is the wrong question. Clearly it's intelligent. It's different than humans.
I think it's fire.
I think it's fire.
Yeah, it's almost a chemical reaction, but a data reaction. The large language models aren't doing anything other than predicting what word comes next.
Right.
It's extremely simple when you think about it. So when if you go into the OpenAI playground, it's a really fun tool. It's in my opinion in many ways better than ChatGPT. You can type in once upon, and then what'll it do? A time there was a princess who lived in a forest, and then you can actually select an option that shows you the probability of the words. This is fascinating.
Oh wow, I didn't know this.
Yeah, so so it'll show you like words with high certainty and words with low certainty. What the large language models do is they have the selection of the internet that was used to train it. They see humans using words. So if you say AI, what comes after the word once? It'll say 99.87% of the time it is upon,
right, and
then put it there, and then 99.99% of the time it's once upon a. When it's writing a story, it's just showing you the highest, it's not even probability, it's the highest frequency.
Right.
And then it has some variance. So you can increase the variance in the language models with OpenAI. You can say, increase the variance from 99.9 to 90. That'll give you a wider range of storytelling. So if you go for absolution, it'll say, once upon a time, there was a witch who lived in the woods, 2 children named Hansel and Gretel. And it just literally will tell you definitively what is the highest probability. If you increase the variance, it'll start to give you something more unique.
Yeah.
It'll start. So this word has a 90% probability of coming up, which gives more variance. And because that word is now a wider bend away from the traditional, that now opens up the door, creates more variations, more spider webs in what you get.
So at what point does it become nonsensical? Like what percent of variation? Are you like 72%?
Probably 100. If not 100, 0. If you told the AI model with 1% certainty, it'll say, once upon a time, dog, oatmeal spoon,
yeah,
flip,
they say
car, jump.
Have an open mind, but not so open that your brain falls out. And I wonder if that's like potential variances.